I do not want husband yet, but I do not want boyfriend that will not be husband. Because what is the point of boyfriend if not husband?
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
But I do want date because date fun. But I don't want date and slip slop because slip slop and date equals evil man.
Not cool. Not cool. You have no idea how not cool that is.
And I do not want evil man because equals crazy me.
This is something else.
So what to do? What to do?
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Giveaway.
Thank you.
Goes millions of people living it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video here today on the channel. If you've probably noticed, I have had to change my upload schedule. So instead of uploading every day, I'm going to be uploading a few times a week. I am going to try to keep a consistent schedule because that's what YouTube likes. YouTube doesn't like it whenever you do different things. So, but unfortunately, because I have so much going on, so you'll still be getting this content. It is more important than ever that you please try to support me. So if you come across my video, please, make sure to like it, interact with it, comment on it, share it. Also, if you're not subscribed, that subscribe button, that would help me out a lot as well. But now that we got that out of the way, hey, how's it going? My name's Rat Boy. Let's get into it.
All right, brother. So this is going to be very important for you guys. So I need you to understand this, okay? Dating in 2024 is done. It is gone. If you are a man, you are cooked, deep fried, no salt and pepper. What do I mean by this? The Instagram influencing dynamic / social media narrative has gotten way too out of hand, guys. I need you to understand this. And I didn't think it was this bad, bro. I did not think it was this bad. But I'm going to explain to you guys, okay, what's been going on. Because of TikTok and Instagram, okay, these top 0.001%ers in society who have a huge following, guys, who are athletes, rappers, top tier entrepreneurs, or super famous in their niche, have access to all the girls, okay? And what's happened in 2024 is this whole, soft girl era narrative where women don't feel the need to be an actual partner, but just use men for either finances or some type of personal gain, to make their own lives better. So there's just one girl I'm talking to, kinda, not really, maybe, I don't fucking know what's going on with this situation. As you guys know, she's Muslim, she's super cool. We talked a little bit. When I tell you my jaw dropped when I saw a guy with 1.5 million followers who follows her, and she follows him back, and he has like 500 to 600 followers, and he was liking her pictures and shit. And that just put into perspective for me, bro. This dating scene is cooked.
Damn! And that guy will always have access to that woman. And then this is the reality. And this is what I've been saying on previous videos. You can go back and you can look at these videos. But these dudes, whether or not they act on it, they will always have access to these women. You could be in a 10-year relationship with this woman. Okay? And I've seen this happen. You can be in 10-year relationship, even 15-year relationship. And if one of these influencer dudes, maybe he's a fitness influencer, maybe he does fashion or whatever, he has millions of followers. If he is sliding into her DMs, you're cooked. You're done. Like he said, no salt, no pepper. Okay? These women do not care. Okay? Especially now, if they're on social media. That's why I say you always have to check these women's social media. You always have to look at their Facebook, their TikTok, their Instagram, look at their followers, look at what they're doing, and make that decision at the very beginning. That way you don't have to come face to face with the consequences, with the repercussions later on in the relationship, because the odds are not in your favor at all. Okay, these dudes with these millions of followers can slide into her DMs, and she's gone. She's on a plane the next night, and you're being ghosted. And then she'll come back. She'll tell you nothing happened. She'll tell you that, or if something did happen, it was an accident, and she was, she had too much juice, and he did something he shouldn't have done, or maybe she didn't have any juice, and it was just an accident. It accidentally slid in once, but she didn't like it. She never likes them when they're that big. She likes your size because it's the perfect size, and it never hurts her. That's what she's gonna tell you. Let's continue.
These girls do not want you because they got people like that who you got to compete with. And I really can't put my finger on it, but as a guy, it really does feel like a losing game in 2024 dating. So I've come to the conclusion the best way to navigate this scenario is to take none of your interactions seriously. And I don't mean being rude to women, being I'm gonna be an alpha male, I'm a dog women, I'm all these hoes ain't shit. Like, I don't mean that. I just mean be your true, authentic self at the end of the day and go with the flow of life. If you want to triple text, bro, go triple text. If she's already not responding to you, what's the worst that can happen? She's going to tell you, oh, I don't fuck with you. Great. She doesn't fuck with you. Go somewhere else now. Because I'm a true believer at the end of the day, even with how cooked the dating scene is, if you are a good person at heart, you are true to yourself, you radiate good energy into the world, you will have good karma, and you will be rewarded later in life or at...
Stop it. Get some help.
And the first part of this TikTok, I kind of agreed with this guy, and I wanted to showcase this on this video because he's completely wrong in the second half, unfortunately. Because here's the thing. We've all saw that, I made a video a few weeks ago about nice guys finishing last, how women don't go for the nice guys anymore. Women don't actually go for the nice guys until they have no other options, until all the other dudes quit messing with them, until all these other dudes realize she's not that attractive anymore. She has all these kids. She has all these burdens. She is kind of weighted down by a bunch of stuff. So she's no longer easily accessible to these men. And not only that, but these men don't find them attractive anymore. They're usually well into their 30s whenever these women decide to settle down and find a nice guy, find this simp cuck to help, finance their life, finance their kids, buy stuff for them. And a lot of them go into like the church scene. They will be reborn and start going to church and try to find a simp that way. And so there's a lot of avenues for these women to find these dudes later in life. And that's kind of what he's saying, that if you're trying to date and you're trying to find a woman that is maybe you're in your 20s and you're dating and you're trying to find a woman in her 20s and you're trying to settle down with her and marry her and have kids with her and start a family, they're not interested in that right now. Okay, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, 100%. And they're not gonna be interested in settling for, I say settling, but they're not gonna be interested in quote unquote settling for these men until they're well past in their 30s, 40s, until they've already been kind of knocked up by a bunch of other random men, in their life. They have all these different, traumas and burdens that they're bringing with them. This is whenever they start looking for these guys that have been true to themselves the whole time. They've been honest to themselves. They've been good men. This is when these women go for these good men. These good men are not going to get any play in their 20s. They're going to be like this guy. This guy, he probably hits the gym. He takes care of himself. There's probably somebody out there for him, but he's not going to find anybody. I don't know how old he is. Maybe he's in his 20s. He's not going to find somebody right now in his age range. He's going to either have to date a single mom in her 30s, okay, or try to quote unquote date some of these other women that he's talking to. But these women will never really be his. These women are just with him because they haven't met that other dude. That other dude hasn't slid in their DMs yet, so she's not able to upgrade. Is basically what's happening.
So I met this guy online, and we decided that we were going to go on a date. We were only talking for a couple days, but it was going well, and I was like, hey, it's Sunday. What are you up to today? You want to watch some football? We'll get a drink. And he was like, yeah, for sure. So we met at a bar. We're hanging out. I am not one that's like, how many people have you slept with? What's your number? Ball? We're adults. I could care. Are you clean? I don't like. Why is this still? It isn't a thing. But we were watching football, which led into a conversation about someone that I had slept with. And so we were talking about it, and he was like, what? And I was like, put back a little bit. And I was like, what do you mean, what? And he, yeah, I'm aware. So I was a little put off by it, but then he got like super intense, and he was like, he turned into like an exorcist. I was like, what? What? And to be fair, at this point, the date was over for me, but I was like, what is wrong with you? And he like went into this whole big thing about, I'm not even going to repeat all the shit that he said about like being dirty and all that. And I was like, what is wrong? So this is where I started to plan my exit. And I was like, okay, how am I going to get out of here? I can't freaking sit here with this guy anymore. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Now, I drove myself, so I full on planned on whatever, leaving by myself anyway. But I was like, okay, I'm trying not to ghost people or be like a crazy person. He had my phone number, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I come back out, he was gone. I was like, that worked out. Perfect. So I sat at the bar for the rest of the time. I met the bartender. Her name was Tara. We had a great time. And what in the actual is dating?
Why is everyone so stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?
You know, and all we can do is pray for her. But still, this is real shit.
Yeah, see, a lot of women will post all this online and think that they're doing something special, but women do not like being confronted with a man's boundaries, with a man's kind of red lines that they put in a relationship. I will always tell a guy to, at the very beginning, if you're choosing to get into a relationship with some of these modern women, I would recommend not doing that. I would just stay away from them 100%. It's just, you can just tell in that past video, she's loaded down with trauma. She's loaded down with regret. There's a lot of issues that personally, I don't think any man should need to unpack in order to deal with stuff like that. These red lines, okay, you have to talk about them at the very beginning of a relationship. If you do not bring them up, then the relationship is going to start off pretty badly, I would assume. Now, in my experience and with the guys I've talked to, these women will agree to whatever, they'll just end up lying to you later on if they, they'll agree to any sort of conditions that you throw at them. But eventually, in the end, it really doesn't matter. They're going to do what they want to do anyways. And they'll just say, oh, well, I was trying to tell you, you just never listen to me and you always gaslight me. And then they'll always throw some excuse, and you know how they do. Okay, we don't have to sit here and try to lie to ourselves about how this happens. Any kind of conversation you have with a woman can be immediately discarded in their mind because you didn't care about them enough, or you didn't try hard enough, or Johnny in her DMs and Chad in her DMs and Tyrone's in her DMs, and that they're gonna fly her out because you just don't do stuff like that for her. And there's always gonna be some excuse, but men will do this. Men will have these red lines where they've been in situations like this before. They don't want to be in the situation again. He realized that there's a lot of trauma because of your past, and he decided to walk away. Okay, now I don't really agree with the whole, I'm kind of assuming that she exaggerated in that story a little bit. I don't think he was maybe he didn't fly off the handle as much as she is saying that he did. He probably brought it up and was kind of like, it's kind of weird. And he probably said something and then he left. Okay. So this whole situation probably didn't happen the way that she is explaining it. A lot of times women exaggerate these very mundane parts of their life to get views, to get likes and comments and stuff. I'm almost 100% sure none of this happened. She probably brought it up. He decided that he didn't want the trauma, and he went on his way. It happens every day. I would say I agree. If you have one of these if you have one of these red lines and you're trying to get into a relationship with one of these women, you need to respect yourself enough to know when to walk away. Okay? Just know when to walk away. There's no point in fighting or trying to change a woman. You can't change a woman. You just can't. There's no point in finding a woman that you think you need to change in order to feel like you need to be with her. The same thing with social media. Social media is a red line for a lot of men, and me personally, if you're on social media like a lot of women are, it's going to be an automatic no for me. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. And I don't think any man with self-respect would put themselves in that situation. I've seen a lot of these women that will film their boyfriends or husbands, try to emasculate them, embarrass them online. You don't want to be involved in any of that. All it does is start arguments, it starts fights within the relationship. It's a big no for me, because I've seen it unfold not only in relationships and past sort of women I've been with in the past, but also just looking at it online, seeing a few guys I work with have to deal with it as well. It is a very, very ugly scene. And I wish I could say something like, oh, well, one day women will come to their senses and they'll start giving these nice men, a chance and maybe get with them in the beginning. That way they don't get loaded down with trauma later on in their 30s. And then you have all these other guys trying to get with these women and not realizing that these men have, these are good men. These are good men. They did the right thing their entire life. They've always been, honest. They've always lived their life with integrity. They live their life with honesty, and they are getting with these women who have so much trauma from being just habitually put through the ringer, dating all the wrong men. And then these women get upset whenever these guys are like, you know what? I see your past, and I'm just not willing to tolerate that type of trauma. Especially women when they get in their front seat and they start complaining about their men. Can you imagine what that woman would be like in 5 years? It's a headache. And this is why, just like that guy said, a lot of men are they're not worrying about it. They're focusing on themselves. That won't necessarily get you a woman, but at least when you focus on yourself, you are doing what is right by yourself. You are improving yourself, and you are eventually going to be happy knowing that you're not wasting your time on someone who doesn't appreciate you. You're actually investing your time in yourself and trying to make yourself a better person.